there's a face I don't recognize. Welcome to my city. I'm Jarl Metellus. Tell me, what is your... It's always exciting to meet a new member of our small community. Now, before I forget, since you're here for good, you'll need some quarters. Here's a key to the last vacant chambers down in the city, between Brawl and Luki. It's all yours. Now tell me, what brings you to my city? I sent you here. I'm not sure what you mean. Well, let's see. This is my handwriting. The victims of an unspeakable atrocity. I will open a portal that will take you into the past. You must go back. This is real, isn't it? I've even toyed with the idea of creating a portal between 2 points in time, with Brawl's help. But that's odd. My letter makes no mention of what caused the disaster. I suppose I was in a hurry. So tell me, what's going to happen to us? So the dwarves' law is real, after all, just as we always suspected. But you know who broke it? Who was the culprit? Ah, that is a shame. Well, let's see. Do you think you could do me a favor? I need you to investigate the city, talk to my people, help them, if it'll win their trust. You can even go through their possessions, if you have to. You must work out who is going to break the dwarves' law. Once you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. As Jarl, I authorize you to go anywhere you need to go, including private homes. But if someone asks you to leave, you should do so immediately. I can't promise either of those things, but I will certainly do everything within my power to help you, once you've helped my people. And of course, if you decide to stay, I would make sure you enjoy a comfortable life here. Now what do you say? Will you help me? Thank you. Now, you mustn't tell anybody where you're from, or what may be about to happen here. People do foolish things when they panic. If it helps you, you're welcome to borrow the book on my desk. It contains the names and addresses of my subjects. Just don't show it to anyone. Goodbye for now, and good luck. I don't need to tell you what will happen if you fail.
Got my eye on ya.
Hello, dear. I'm afraid not, dear. I resigned myself long ago to being here forever. It's not so bad once you get used to the idea. See you another time, then.
Oh, hello there. I'm a Breton from Hyrak. I've studied history at the Imperial City, which led me to Skyrim in search of Dwemer ruins. And now I'm here. Some days I just can't believe my luck. Working with Brawl, researching the richest source of Dwemer history and technology I could have imagined. I feel like we're on the brink of some amazing discoveries about the Dwemer. Who knows? Maybe we'll find not all of them have disappeared. I could, but Brawl knows much more than I do. You should be able to find him in his chambers down the city. A way out of here? Are you kidding? Why would I want to get out of here? I can't think of a single place in all Tamriel I'd rather be. Of course, I think I can teach you a thing or two. Now that you mentioned it, I do. I need you to get something for me, and it won't be easy. I've tried everything I can think of, and still nothing. There's a big Nord living down in the city called Rikus. You may have seen him walking around in an immaculate example of Dwarven armor. I need that armor. It's the only one like it, and I believe it to be crucial in unlocking the secret of this place. The trouble is, before I could get a good look at it, that brute Rikas claimed it as his own, and has been wearing it ever since. I've tried everything. Appeals to his better nature, flattery, charm, even threats. It's like negotiating with a brick wall. The only thing I haven't tried is violence, and you know how that would end. But I'm convinced there's a way to get it. There has to be. Thank you. If you do manage to get it, you're welcome to keep it. I just need to have a quick look at it, that's all. That's fine. I've got a lot of reading to do if I'm going to move half as much as Brawl one day.
What is it?
I saw a man come down the shaft, but he was armed and he looked like a looter. If he makes it into the city and starts attacking people, he'll break the dwarves' law, and who knows what will happen. You have to stop him. Everybody, go home and lock your doors.
Fate decreed that you had to die. This what you want?
Who's there?
Is it over? Is it safe? Oh, thank the gods. What a relief. We're so lucky that you arrived in time to stop them. I'll be sure to tell everyone what you've done for us. Thank you so much. If there's ever anything my husband Habik and I can do to help you, just ask. If I did, Habik and I probably wouldn't be here. But Ulrin's wife managed to escape a while back. He doesn't like to talk about it, but you might be able to get him to open up, I suppose. Oh, there's not much to tell. My husband Habik runs the clothing store in town. You should stop by. I'm sure you'll leave looking much better. Not that you don't look good now, I mean, it's just... You know, nice clothes are... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm no good at selling anything. I guess that's why they've got me sweeping the floors day in, day out. Well, that, and we weren't invited to be layabouts in the Jarl's Citadel. Did you see anyone working in the Citadel? I'll bet you didn't. They just amuse themselves all day while those of us down here do all the work. And why? Because Habik's a Redguard and I'm a Breton. I bet if we were both Imperial, it'd be a different story. The worst part is we left Solitude to get away from bigoted Nords after our son died. But here the Imperials are even worse. Of course. Oh. No offense, but I'd rather not talk about it. Too many painful memories. And besides, there are enough sad stories around this place as it is. But if you're interested, you can talk to my husband, Habik, in his shop, Firefly Finery. What would we do? Start a rebellion? No way. Not after the dwarves' warning. You know, the many shall suffer for the sins of the one, and all that. I'd be a fool not to. If you're not convinced, you should go and talk to Broll in his chambers. He knows more about the dwarves than anyone. All right. Nice to talk to you. See you soon.
Hello, neighbor. Would you like to hear about my research? Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else. Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so can have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else. Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover? Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burnt corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the dwarves' law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know, as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. Very well. Come back if you think of any questions about something you discover.
Oh, a new person. Well, welcome to our city. Whatever it is.
Heard you got to kill those looters. What about it? It's not for sale. Nope. This is the only one like it in the whole city. Oh, well in that case, you still can't have it. Let me be clear. The only way you'll get this armor is if you peel it from my corpse. Uh-huh.
Welcome to Firefly Finery. I'm Habik. I live out back with my wife, Miranda. We used to live in solitude, but, we had to leave. Found this place by accident, like most. The Jarl needed someone to mind the store. So I volunteered. Doesn't make any money, of course. Not enough customers. The Jarl says he likes to keep us busy and out of trouble. But of course, he and all his cronies in the Citadel never seem to lift a finger. I wish it was that simple. The dwarf, but maybe they meant all sorts of things, like dishonesty or disobedience to the Jarl. That's what Metellus would like us to think, anyway. So I could ignore his orders. Sure. I could even lead an uprising against him. Gods know most of us are sick of him, but I'd be risking the lives of everyone here, and I just don't want to be responsible for that. So here I am, running my shop. Could be worse. All right. No, I don't. But I'd wager that if anyone does know a way out, it's the Jarl. But of course, if he told anyone, he'd be ruling over an empty city. The Jarl says he likes to keep us busy and out. Our son was working at my stables outside the city. He was alone when he had a visit from some Imperial, a cousin of the High King. This Imperial thought he'd just take one of the horses as a tithe. Guess he didn't think a 12-year-old boy was going to stop him. But Limar wouldn't stand for it. And as the thief rode off, my son managed to shoot an arrow into his shoulder. But I wasn't there at the time. I came back from the market to find my son's body, trampled in the dirt. It was... I can't begin to describe it. I was shattered. I went straight to Torig's court and demanded justice. But I guess that word doesn't mean much to an Imperial. Instead, he seized my stables and told me if I ever set foot in Solitude again, my wife and I would end up the same way as Limar. So we left. Wandered Skyrim for a while, and eventually wound up here. I was hoping this place would be better. I was wrong. All right. Only the finest clothes in town. All right. Thanks for stopping by.
What do you want?
Hi there. There isn't one. This place is like a firefly trap. One way in, no way out. Could be worse, though. You could be living in bloody Skyrim. I'm Lukey. I'm what passes for an alchemist and healer around here. I'll be honest, I don't much care for dealing with people, or healing them, but I wouldn't trust anyone else around here with the responsibility. And I guess somebody's gotta do it, right? Oh, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like my neighbors. I don't like anyone. Stupid, untrustworthy, selfish, ugly creatures we humans are. But you know what? At least down here, people are on their best behavior most of the time, what with the dwarves' law and all. I mean, people are still bastards, but at least they have to be discreet about it. Nobody's openly violent, and nobody's ever stolen anything from me. All right, see you soon, neighbor.
What do you want?
I heard you took care of some looters for us. If only there was something I could do to thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you decided to come see me. What can I do for you, sweet thing? Did you know there are tunnels running all the way under the city? Last one to go down there was Brandis, and it sent him to his deathbed. Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room on the top floor of the Citadel, but nobody's seen what's inside. Have you seen Rygus walking around in that shiny armor of his, all paranoid, like those dwarven statues are going to spring to life any minute? Did you notice the big crack in the floor near the city gate? They say some poor fool fell to his death trying to scale the front of the Citadel. Did you know that beautiful palace above the lake is sealed? Brawl says the last person to go in there locked it behind him. I wonder what's in there. There's something creepy about Marius up in the Citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room. Oh, so soon? Well, you know where to find me, honey.
Oh, hello. Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. Out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you? That's odd. You don't look like an Imperial. Can't be helped, I suppose. These days we've got to accept help wherever we can. Now, I expect you'll have questions about how this place runs. Happy to share what I've learned. What did you want to know? Suspicious behavior, you say? Ah, so the Jarl has found a task for you, keeping tabs on us? Don't worry, your secret's safe with me, friend. Well, the Citadel's mainly full of good Imperial stock, so you don't have to worry too much about them. But now that you mention it, lately I've been wondering if the Citadel isn't haunted. Every now and then, mostly late at night, I swear I can hear a woman sobbing. I'll be damned if I know where it's coming from, but it's not Gaia next door, so who could it be but a ghost? Gods know a lot have died in here. Yes, well, not completely. A little. I think I understand the pipes that run all over the place. See, they mainly carry water. There's a single pipe on the top floor bringing water from outside the Citadel inside. Water then trickles down from each floor to the lake. But that's not all. It seems the water flowing through these pipes causes these gears to rotate. And when that happens, they somehow create light. The dwarves were brilliant engineers. I doubt I could hold a candle to them. Not that I would need to, with all the lights in this place. Jarl's got me working on repairs to the Citadel. This place was built to last, but it still needs an engineer's touch every now and then. Door hinges need to be oiled, cracks need to be patched up, and that bloody water pipe in the bathroom is constantly springing a leak. But it's a good idea to make yourself useful around here. No doubt the Jarl will make good use of your skills too, whatever those might be. Ah yes, my workshop. Well, of course, as an engineer through and through, I couldn't resist the urge to dismantle some of this dwarven technology. How complicated can it be, I thought. As it turns out, it's extremely complicated. You see these gleaming dwarven busts in every room? Well, I think I know what they are. They all seem to be connected to the pipes running all over the city and down the front of the Citadel. and I've seen these things before in other ruins, but these are different. Their eyes are glowing with blue light. Have you noticed? But whenever you see one of these things, remember, someone or something is watching everything you do, waiting for you to break the dwarves' law.
Right you are. Hello again, my friend.
I heard you took down some bandits. Hello there, friend. Well, it's a sad one, but I don't mind telling it. Name's Golvar. I'm a farmer. Always was. Grew up on a farm near Whiterun. It was a good life. Fresh milk and eggs every day. Running around the farm barefoot with my brother and sisters. Never even had to lock our doors. One day, when I was about 18, my father and I were carting some produce into the market when we saw a group of strangers in a top field. My father told me to run back to the house and get his axe. So I did. I ran so fast I almost threw up. But by the time I got back, it was too late. I found him dead by the side of the road. The cart and all our produce was gone. That was the first time I learned about bandits. My mother passed soon after, and I took over the farm. Now I'm as good a farmer as any, and better than most, but things went downhill from there. The raiding started before long. I'd come outside at dawn and find a few chickens missing. Next it was a cow, then 2 cows. That was the first time in 5 generations my family started locking its doors at night. We knew the guards from Whiterun weren't going to help us. One night, when we had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who it was and what they wanted. I took my father's axe and pulled the door open real quick. Before he knew it, that bandit had my father's axe right down the middle of his skull. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was burned to rubble. My family slaughtered like cattle. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. It still burns whenever I think about it. Well, at least I got one of the bastards. Cleaved that grin of his right in half. Sometimes it helps me get to sleep at night. Sometimes. Anyhow, after that I drifted some. Took odd jobs around Falkreath. But nothing seemed to work out. And then I guess I got desperate. I started taking things. Just small things. Carrots and cabbages. Just enough to survive. I wasn't proud of it. And then one day, I watched myself break into some guy's farmhouse and help myself to his things. And I guess I realized what I'd become. Next thing I knew, I was looking for a place to die. And I found the entrance to this place. And that shaft. And I started my life over again. Well, I'm a farmer, but the land I work isn't mine. Metellus had declared himself Jarl and claimed all the farmland before I got here. I'm not. All I've ever wanted is to make a living by working the land. But it seems someone always has to go and steal the fruits of my labor. That bloody Jarl. He's no better than the bandits who destroyed my life. Only difference is he uses words instead of weapons. But he'll get his. One day. Just do me a favor and keep that last part to yourself, would you? Don't know why you're asking me. Don't know if there's a way out, and don't care. This is my home now. Not even a dozen bandits could drive me away. Fair enough. See you around.